Conversations. Me, Kid Revel. So, I just wanted to thank you for coming. If it's your first time here, welcome. Make yourself at home. If you're returning, then you're probably wondering where the fuck I am right now. And to answer that question, turn down the music. My bad, y'all. Turn the music way down. I forgot to do that. If it is your first time here, welcome. Make yourself at home. And if you're returning, then you're probably wondering where I'm at right now. And simple answer would be, this is my house. Now you're probably asking yourself why. And, well, your boy got a little sickly the other day. And at this point in time, much rather be safe than sorry. So protecting the boys from my sick ass. And I'm here. The show must go on, of course. So that's why we're at the crib, The setup is a little different. It's going to be a little less of a schedule stream type thing because I'm alone. It's not like I owe anybody like a conversation or whatever. You get what I'm saying? So if you guys have any questions, just pop out. Honestly, pop out with the questions because I'll whether I get to them at the end of the stream or I get to them in the middle of the stream, I'll get to them because I'm alone and I'm bored and I want to get into it. So yeah, that's get into the motherfucking topic of the week. Topic of the week is I wanted to talk a little bit about just songwriting in general, song creation in general, because I forget to realize this a lot of the times, but songwriting is such a foreign medium. You know what I'm saying? It's like songwriting and song creation is such a foreign concept to people who really don't do this shit. Like it's like before you made a song, and I've been making songs for so long that it's hard for me to remember, but if you've never made a song before, you're really like you have no idea what it takes to make one. So yeah, just wanted to talk about that a little bit. And so the way I'm going to start that off is I just wanted to sort of chat about how I got into song creation in the first place. And so if you've heard the other episodes where I've talked about my first experiences making songs, particularly episode 2, or is it episode 1? Shit, I don't know, bro. Go watch all of them. But I've talked about it a few times, and yeah, so it's definitely, hold on, technical difficulties. Oh, we're straight. It's definitely a foreign concept to a lot of people. And so I've talked about this before, but I didn't start off like writing songs, and I never really started off like thinking I would really be a musician. You know what I mean? So it was like the way it all started is I got into drumming when I was really, really little. Through my dad, and then wasn't the best, or I was like a decent drummer, but there were people that were better than me, and this is never something that you should follow, especially in your adult life. But whenever somebody was way better than me at something, and I was close with them and I was cool with them, it always like destroyed my confidence because it was always like they're gonna just go off and do that thing, and I'm just gonna be sitting back here watching them do it. Like I never really had like my own self confidence at that point, but I was fucking young as shit. It was elementary school. So, I don't exactly remember how it happened, but I sort of transitioned. Oh, I know how it happened. So, in elementary school, I would take all the songs that I was listening to, whether it was on my iPod or just on iTunes or on the radio or whatever it was, and I would burn it onto a CD through iTunes, and I would bring it to school, and they got broken all the time, but we had radios that you could throw the CD in and just play your shit. And so, like, I would just come to school. Like, I don't know if it was every week or if it would take me a while to do it, but I would just show all my friends, like, the latest stuff I've been listening to. And so then it was, like, almost that was almost like the bootleg version of DJing, like at the beginning, right? And so that was like the most bootleg shit ever. And so I would just like, take the songs, throw them onto a CD, throw them in the CD player. We just listened to them. That was it. And so then that got me into like the concept of DJing. And then from there, my pops bought me a basic DJ controller when I was in the 5th grade or some shit. And I was just off to the races, bro. Like I just started learning Serato DJ. I don't know if you know what that is. It's very basic DJing software. Started learning that shit through like a little party at my elementary school. Played some music. And then, this is where shit gets a little fuzzy because it was so long ago. But there came a point when I was like a little tired of just DJing songs, because I was really just DJing stuff I liked and figuring out how to do transitions and shit. And so I feel like a very obvious step from that is making beats, because they're very closely linked, using hardware and doing it all on the laptop. Making beats and DJing are very close, which is why a lot of DJs are also producers. Like when you see a lot of these DJs on the road, they're also like Metro Boomin, bro. Like Metro Boomin literally is a DJ and a producer. So it was just kind of a natural next step. And so, yeah, I feel like getting sidetracked. I feel like the transition was most likely just me being young as fuck and just like wanting to make some beats. And so I'm almost like I don't even know where any of that shit is anymore. Like I really don't. Could be in this laptop I have right now. Actually, I've had this shit since 2015. Nah, definitely not in there. But the first beats I made were garbage, obviously. And so that was like when I say technically getting into songwriting and music making, it's really that. It's like the production is where it all started, because we could talk about songwriting specifically, which is just, literally writing like lyrics or whatever, but it all ties in together. So over the next few years, I got into producing, and I got really into producing and DJing, and kind of went in and out of a few phases of both. And then, I don't know. I never got the knack for production. So it was never something that I saw myself being a masterclass like person at. You know what I'm saying? Like I never saw myself becoming the biggest producer in the world, or I never saw myself any of that shit. Like it was just never like a dream that seemed that plausible, even though I made some shit that I liked. So just in like a search of what else I could do, I just started recording little vocal lines and melodies over my tracks. From what I remember, it was like it wasn't a lot. Like it was very, very, very like, I don't know if I was even writing words or anything. It was just straight melody. And then a lot of y'all know the story about how I made a song with my boy Trip at Tripster Made It on Instagram. We made a song in my closet on like a sock mic. It was just a fucking dog. It was just jokes. But it was like, it was the start of something, because listening back to a song like that is really like, it's like a horrible song, but a song like that, I mean a song you made. Listening back to a song you made, especially at that age, it's like we just recorded that entire song, and even though it's jokes, it's like you could see the potential in that, especially if you've loved music for as long as I have. So from then on, it was like I would just record little songs here and there. I would send them to my friends, and thank God, like I got some honest homies, because my shit back in the day was absolute doo-doo. And so my boys would tell me, just keep working, bro. Like they would be honest with me. And so this is probably when I was like 15. And so it was just like I would keep recording. And, it was like, here's how I'll describe it, is if you're first starting out making music and your favorite genre is what you're trying to create, you're most likely just going to be repeating the exact same methodology that they're using. And by that, it's like the lyrics, the melodies, all that shit. And that's exactly what I did for a long time. Like if you listen to my older shit, it's like I'm talking about straight gang shit. And it's like I was never, like that was never what I was fucking doing. So it was just like I was just basically lying in my songs, and you know, a lot of people do that today, so it's not like that's a fucking big deal. But I was just capping in songs, and I was just doing fucking basic ass melodies, like fucking the most auto tune cranked all the way up, no response on that bitch. Like, it was insane. So not insane in a good way, insane in a fucking horrible way. But yeah, so through trial and tribulation, I feel like that's something that I'd like to touch on a little bit, is you got to just keep doing it. And especially with making songs, like, I don't know if there's anybody that's ever fucking just started making songs and then suddenly they're the fucking GOAT. Like, I don't know if that ever happens. So all I can say is, if you're watching this and you're and you're watching this because you want to start making songs, just start doing it. Like I said this in the last episode, just start fucking doing it. Like, there's no reason that you shouldn't be. Genuinely, there's no reason that you shouldn't be recording melodies on your iPhone. There's no reason you shouldn't be fucking making beats on your iPhone. There's no reason you shouldn't be at least writing. Like, if you want to get into this shit, just start doing it, because you're gonna suck. Like, you're just gonna suck at the beginning, and that's just the fact of the matter. We all did, bro. Like, we all fucking sucked at the beginning. So through a few years of that, I finally got a song that I really genuinely liked. The first song I ever truly liked and people gave me a good response on was called, yeah, no, I'm not even going to pretend like I remember what it was called. Still on my SoundCloud on private to this day. Mad auto-tune. I was singing in a fucking falsetto, which I don't even do anymore. It was just like, such a cringy song if you look back on it today, but it was one of those moments. Like, the first time I made the song with Trip in the Closet, it was like, it's one of those moments where, even though looking back on it, it's complete dog shit, and you're just like, that was fucking stupid, like, that shit was horrible, you will also look back on those moments like, wow, that was a turning point for me, because I could start using that methodology that I used for that last song and repurposing it for new methods and new ways that maybe I could write new songs and get better. And you just start sort of unlocking the keys to creating songs through doing it and fucking up at it, as you do with everything, I think. So it was after that first song that I really liked. I went on a hot streak, kind of just making songs that I really liked over and over and over again. All of them were horrible looking back on it, but you know, I don't need to say that at this point. Obviously, this shit was trash. It was fucking 3 years ago. But like, that's how you do it. Like, that's how I got to where I am now. Is like, when you find a methodology that you like, it's not like you get satisfied with the methodology, but you start refining it and you start figuring out like what's either a quicker or more efficient or more practical way to record this. How can I make these lyrics more personal? How can I stop, you know, just saying what these other rappers are saying, assuming you care about that, which I do, and you know, some people clearly don't. So it was just like, over the years, it was just like fucking just trial and error. Write a song that I like, write a song that I fucking completely hate, write a song that I like, write a song that I hate, write a song that I like. And it was just like, just gotta grind. Like, it's been a long time, and it's weird because like I don't remember how it feels not to be doing this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I really don't, like I said at the beginning, it's like this process is probably very foreign to a lot of people, but like, when you've been doing it as long as I have, it's like it's not weird to like write a song for me. It's like, obviously I do it multiple times a week. Like, this shit is just like that. And so over the years, you know, I feel like it's self-explanatory, right? Like, just went from producing and not fucking with it to, you know, wanting to do something else because I was never really proud of my production, and then sort of flowing into just joke songs, and then eventually I got to fucking, you know, to the point where it really feels therapeutic for me, like to the point where I can write songs about girls and have it actually be about the situation that I'm talking about. And so, yeah, that's sort of just the process over the years, and now I'm writing some of my favorite shit that I've ever done, and yeah, I'm really proud of it. But you know, I feel like I'm gonna look back on these songs in 3+ years and think, wow, I was a fucking, like, I thought I was somebody else type shit. Like, not that I think that I'm somebody else, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like my style is maybe a little too similar to other artists right now. And you know, that takes time. Just takes time to find your sound and to find how you can personally add flavor to any and every song. And man, so yeah, that's just sort of how I got to the point where I was now with in terms of creating songs. And then as for the future, I also wanted to chat a little bit about my current process and like kind of go into detail because I kind of just brushed over everything. You know, over the course of my career and what led me here, but so yeah, right now I'll just break down the process. For me, it goes a little like this. It's like, obviously, don't take everything I say with a grain of salt because it's not the same shit every time. Obviously, like I'm making different songs every time, but generally it goes, go through some beats. Anybody who's been in the studio with me will tell you that I'm the melody man first. Like, that's what comes to me. And, you know, that's how I base a lot of, that's how I create the bass for a lot of my songs is I'll have the beat and then I'll come up with a melody that goes with the melody that's already in the beat or the chords or whatever it is. And then I write the words. And like Tara said on our episode last time, yeah, he's like the wordsmith and I'm the melody man. Like it's a very different situation. Because he can write songs wherever he wants. I almost have to write a song with a beat playing. And so it's just a very different experience. And so the reason I'm breaking down my process of writing songs, and like I said, take it with a grain of salt because it's different every time, but also take it with a grain of salt because your style will be different than mine. But, you know, for the people that are just interested in my style, I'll keep going. So, melody man, like it's just melody will pop into my head. And, you know, I can't teach that type of shit. It's just like I have a very specific taste in melodies, and that happens to be very satisfying to people's ears, I guess. And so the melody usually pops into my head before any words. But, and like I'll say this right now, I'm not a very good freestyler. Like I think I'm a fucking horrible freestyler, but I'll say I'm not a very good freestyler just because, you know, some people are worse. Sometimes the shit will just come to me. And sometimes, like, after you've been doing it for as long as I have it will just come to you. Like, it'll just, like, a chorus will almost pop out in, like, 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, or less. Like, it'll just be, like, the beat meshes with the melody that I came up with so well, and then I could just kind of grab the words out of thin air and just put them in there, and then it's just, like, it's good. But, sometimes it's the complete fucking opposite. Sometimes I'll have that shit and I'll have a melody playing in my head and I'll record the melody on my phone so I don't lose it. And then I literally will sit there for 30 minutes trying to come up with lyrics for that chorus because I just want it to fit the way it is, and it just, the words that I'm coming up with aren't working. So yeah, it's like sometimes it'll just pop, sometimes it won't. And I get frustrated when it does and doesn't work like the way I want it to, but that's the name of the game, bro. Like, if you're gonna keep making music, you gotta be willing to deal with the annoying shit that comes with literally creating music. I don't mean the annoying shit of being famous and being a musician. I mean the annoying shit of literally making songs. If you're gonna make songs for a living, you gotta be willing to deal with writer's block. You gotta be willing to deal with when you find a beat that you really like and you just can't flow on it, and there's no way you can. Like, it's never impossible. Obviously, you can get on it, but, like, you know, sometimes you'll come to a beat and you'll be like, oh, like, this is my favorite beat. I want to get off on this. And you just can't because, like, you know, your voice doesn't fit with it, or whatever things you keep trying just don't work. And so it's just like, you know, fucking
just the frustrating shit of being a songwriter. And so melody will pop into my head, and then, sometimes lyrics come, sometimes it takes a fucking while, but I try not to let that get in the way. And so from there, obviously it's to recording, depending on, like, when I've been working with Terror, I've always waited to record anything till both of us have all of our lyrics written down, because for me, writing lyrics is the most time-consuming part of making a song, besides mixing. But that's after the fact, and I can do that and I can do that anywhere I want to. But as for writing the lyrics, so I let that all happen before we even get to recording. So it'll just be like, we'll be listening to the beat, or I'll be listening to the beat if I'm alone, trying to get all the lyrics out. Because, you get into a zone as well. Like, you get into a mode almost where it's like these lyrics just start coming to you. And if you cut that off, then sometimes it fucks the whole thing up. So, wait till all the lyrics are done. If I'm working with somebody, if it's me, obviously I wait till all the lyrics are done. And then, just throw down. Most of the time, it depends on the song. So it'll depend on, how I want it to feel, how much energy I want it to have, how much I don't. But it's always main chorus, always a double in the background vocal section of the mix. It's almost always a harmony, and then it's always a melody in the background. Like, I always have this thing where I don't know how long I've been doing it. I haven't been doing it forever. Like you can hear it in like the past couple months probably. But I've been doing a thing where I'll record the lyrics, and then I'll come up with a secondary melody to complement the melody that's already within the beat. And then I'll throw that in, and sometimes I'll even pitch it up so you don't even know it's my voice, and then it sounds like a flute or something like that. And multiple people have commented on it, but like they didn't know what it was. So that's what that is. Listen for that in a lot of my new songs. So after a harmony and a melody for the chorus, the verse, generally the verses are going to be more complex than the chorus, because it's not the same words over and over again. But also that also depends, right? Because sometimes the verse is something that I can just spit and I can get it out, and the chorus is something where I have to hit a certain note, and then it just fucking takes me forever. And so, it varies, but the recording process is usually not that long. Like, it's usually a very decent time span. And sometimes I don't even fucking know how long it's taking, to be honest, because that shit is so much fun. Recording is just like I don't think about it. When I'm recording it, it's just I'm getting it in there, and I want to get it done. And so after recording, almost always I'll make a very basic mix that I can just bounce out. So, and I'm going to do a lot of more technical videos on how I mix and shit. I don't want to get too technical because I'll start probably confusing most of y'all. And honestly, I'll get sidetracked really quick if I start talking about how I mix, like the vocals and shit, and where I drag the EQ and everything. But, so I'll make a basic mix almost right after I record, because it's kind of important for me to just be able to listen back. Like, listening back to a song right after it's done is so fucking satisfying. And even if it doesn't sound great, the first few times you listen to it likely sound either horrible and then you grow on it, or the other way around. Sound really great, and then you start realizing all the fucking pops and bullshit that you left in there. So, I'll always get a basic mix right out of the gate, so I can listen back. But that also allows me to pick out any something from a take that I didn't like. It allows me to pick out anything I would like to add to the mix, anything I'd like to remove from the mix, because, the longer you spend mixing, the more numb you get to that mix. That's just how it is. If you're sitting with a mix for a really long time, generally it'll sound worse because you're spending more time on it, and you're getting numb to whatever sound you decided to make it when you originally were making it. So you're really just put in a position where it's much harder to to come up with like a mix that everybody can listen to. So it's the faster you go, the better. So I try and mix pretty fast, bounce, listen to it a lot, and then mix pretty fast when I like know exactly what I want to change. And then as for mastering, I don't do a ton for mastering. I've got a few, like I use Vitamin from Waves to throw some mastering stuff on tracks just to clean it up a little bit, to make it a little bit more full. And I need to get better at mastering, though. Like, that's for sure. Because it's an art, right? Mixing and mastering is an art, and I'm learning mixing much better. But mastering is, like, I'm pretty clueless. Like, I just do some basic shit. But, yeah, I don't know if that made any sense to y'all. Like, I really don't. And I apologize if it didn't. If it was interesting, well, then there you go. Gotta have the tea. Always gotta have the tea. So yeah, next thing I kind of wanted to get into was the future of my songwriting, right? And the future of my songs and the future of what I kind of want to do, which is, you know, it's not like I know exactly what I'm going to want to do in 5 years when I'm making songs. However, like I've got some ideas, right? Because I just got back into producing. If you joined my Halloween stream, if you've just seen any of the videos of me making beats on my machine, I've just been getting back into producing a little bit. I've been mostly doing boom bap shit and sampling stuff, but that's kind of what I have access to right now in terms of, I mean, I've got a 49 key MIDI right here. It's just not portable, so I don't take it to the studio. And yeah, so I've been messing with it, and I've been having fun just making little sampled beats that I think are super dope and good for montages, like, you know, intro outro song of Revelations, made by yours truly, of course. So I've been getting into it, but there's limitations, I feel like, with that sort of gear. I feel like I'm sort of limited to beats that are majority drum based, you know what I'm saying? And I'm the melody man, so it's like that doesn't do it for me too much. And I guess I have a little bit of producer PTSD, right? So it's like I feel like, probably internally, I don't necessarily feel like this on the surface, I feel like, you know, like I don't know how to learn how to become a producer, because when I first started being a producer, I was fucking horrible, and I was just so self-conscious of how bad my shit was. And there was really nothing that I ever really liked. So, you know, it's like, I feel like it's a little bit of producer PTSD. So it's like I'm kind of afraid to get into the nitty-gritty of making beats and shit again. But regardless, doesn't really matter. I already am doing it already, but I'm getting back into it. So, you know, we will get to the point where I'm able to fully produce my songs. Right now, I'm just sort of getting back into it, but I want to do that a lot more. I want to be, because, you know, a lot of my true idols in music specifically, like Kanye West, Paul McCartney, damn, all these names are gonna blank on me right now. Tame Impala, wow. From the Beach Boys, I'm an idiot, but I forget the main writer and producer's name. I feel like an idiot right now. But regardless, my main inspirations in music are songwriters as well as producers as well as vocalists and instrumentalists, I guess. But that's really my like I don't know necessarily how to say it, but that's like how I want to be. I want to be able to compose. I want to be able to write songs on different instruments. I want to be able to complement whatever melody line I have with an orchestra. I want to just be able to get down to the nitty gritty, and that's going to take a minute, I know, but that's my goal. My goal is really to be a well-rounded musician. And I don't really necessarily care about playing a bunch of instruments and everything, but I do want to be a very good producer and composer. So you will be seeing a lot of that from me. I'm going to be trying to get, I don't know if I'll get any of my beats on the upcoming project, but for my project following that, you will definitely hear a bunch of shit produced by me. So yeah, just wanted to touch on that a little bit. I don't know if that's boring for you. Don't really care. I'm interested in it. If you like it, thank you. I love you. And yeah, so we touched on the current process. We touched on how it's evolved. And yeah, so I guess this episode probably won't be 50 minutes just because it's me alone here. But I would love it if y'all could drop some questions about anything that I said, about anything that you just want to know about. You could drop a stupid question and I'll just talk about it for a little bit. But yeah, I kind of talked about a lot what I felt like I wanted to touch on, and I don't really know what y'all are interested in terms of what I'm talking about and what I'm doing. But yeah, shoot me some questions. Hit me with some. See what we got. Show us your first ever song. I wonder if I could play this out of this, though. I could play it out of the mic. Oh, I could play it out of the mic. This will be funny. Oh, you guys are going to cringe. This is fucking hilarious. I'm going to play you the last song that I have on my SoundCloud. And I'm about to play it through the mic. It might sound horrible. And I'm going to answer Ben's question right after I play this fucking terrible song. Jesus. What do we got here? What is this song called? Oh, no. I need to go to my private tracks. Private tracks. It's called Waiting on Me. Produced by Hella Sketchy. Rest in peace to Hella Sketchy, for real. Never knew him personally, but the fact that my first song on SoundCloud was produced by him and he died like last year is fucking, that shit kind of sucks. Get ready for it. Anyway, that's how that sounds. You can let me know your thoughts. I know it's horrible, so if any of you want the link to that, you can also let me know. I'm pretty sure I could send you a link. Anyway, what did Ben say? What other equipment are you looking to getting and why? Good question. I like talking about gear because I'm a fucking nerd. What do we got? So, I just bought this for my birthday. I said just, but 3-4 months ago. This is my Audio Technica 4050 microphone. Can I show you? Peep that sexy bitch. Ooh. Yeah, she's sexy. Cost me like $5, not $5, $500. And Yeah, the reason I got that, I would say, and I also got a newer interface, which I got in August also, my Audion ID14. I got both of those because it was like I felt I wanted an upgrade to my overall setup, especially for my vocals, because that's the most important thing for what I'm doing right now. Because for a while, I was using this bad boy. Most of you, if you've ever made music, you probably know what this is. This is Scarlett 212 or 2i2 by Focusrite. It's just it's a pretty basic interface. It's nothing to it's nothing flashy, but it got the job done. Like if you listen to most of my stuff before probably July, it was done on that. And so, it's got me through a lot of shit. And got this new ID14. I think it sounds fucking amazing. I think there's a preamp in here that's supposed to make the vocal a lot warmer. I don't know if obviously you can't tell unless I did a A/B test, but I think you could tell in the music for sure, because I've tried using my AT45 with the Focusrite and then switch it back to the Audion, and it sounded so much different. So yeah, so that's what I just got. I just got a new 4050 and just to upgrade like the whole vocal thing. But what am I looking into getting into? What I'm looking into right now is I want to sort of get a tool to start being able to produce again and sort of unlock my producer brain. And so I've been looking into, if you're a producer and you're watching this, I hope you know what I'm talking about. OP1, Teenage Engineering OP1. That bitch is sexy. How do I describe it? So it's like a fucking synth, sequencer, drum machine, sampler in a mini keyboard about this big with like a bunch of screens and shit on it. That motherfucker is crazy. It's like, it's so much. It's like, because what a lot of people don't understand that don't really produce is like, a lot of people who are making beats nowadays are literally using loops from Splice and are using loops from other people. And a lot of these dudes are like they just don't make their own sounds. They don't make their own melodies. A lot of them don't make their own drums. And so what the OP1 would do for me is what it's not like, what it lacks in technical audio quality and all of its plugins and all of the things that it can connect to as a sequencer. It gains in A, portability, and B, it's just its creativity, because I've never used one, so I'm talking out my ass here, but it's just a piece of gear that I think I could carry around, and I could start making my own sounds, and I could start writing little songs and loops that I could transform into bigger songs down the line. And really what I need to get back into producing is access to my producer brain, because I know what's in there, and right now it's mostly songwriter brain, so I kind of gotta even it out so I can start writing alongside each other, because it gets a lot more complicated. Like, a lot of people underestimate how hard it is to write and produce a song, because like if you're a beat maker and you make a bunch of beats and then you also just record after that beat after, it's probably not that bad, but it takes true skill to write a song and like write the piano and drums and write everything in lyrics at the exact same time and have it come out sounding good. Like, that shit is fucking, like, that's a job for a band. That's a job for 2 to 5 people, and it's just you. So, I hope I can get me one of thems, and hopefully it'll turn into something much bigger. But it's more of just something that I can get back into it with, and back into producing with, and back into just creating melodies and being able to add vocals to those melodies, and being able to just put together and construct and create an entire song from scratch that's just me, because I've been rapping on other people's beats for the longest. Like, I rapped on my own beat. Here, I'll play it for you. my beat.
These girls I know they want me cause I'm next up. I be next up, yeah, you know I'm next up. And my mama always said, boy, keep your chest up. I keep my chest up, yeah, I keep my chest up. Yeah, girl, we both know that I done messed up. Yeah, I messed up, girl, I know I messed up.
Yeah, I produced that. That was the last song I produced that I think I recorded, honestly. Huh. Yeah, I haven't done shit in a long time. Let me get to these questions, though, because that was a motherfucking tangent. All right. Jimothy Greensfield, who is Aiden. I just realized this. I didn't know who Jimothy was. Do you be hooping? I bet I could win in a 1v1. Do you think you could beat me? Honestly, Aiden, I think you could probably beat me. If you ever play basketball, you could probably beat me. I can lay up. I can lay up, and I'm semi-tall, and I've got long arms. So it's like, that's about it. But, yeah, let's go to the park tonight and duke it out. Has the quarantine messed with your plans in any way? Jesse asks. Yeah, dude. What has the quarantine done to me? That's a good question. So, I guess it was like I didn't have that many plans to begin with this year, right? It was just like I don't even remember what plans I had. Like I was just in school and then I wasn't in school. Like I was just in my first year of college. So I got into it's community college, so I didn't have to do any fucking specialship. So I was just getting into school, and then, you know, obviously I did all last semester. Then I did this semester, did half the semester fucking from home, and decided that I'm definitely not going back until I could do it in person. So that's the only plan that's really messed with. But now I'm looking into schools that aren't in LA, which would be really beneficial for me because I do very well in new, different environments. Like I do much better when I'm uncomfortable than when I'm comfortable, which is a weird thing to say, but it's just true. So it didn't really mess with those plans, nor did it mess with my music dropping plans because I dropped so much fucking music since quarantine started. I dropped a project in April and July, and so that's like that speaks for itself, right? Like I got a lot of shit done since quarantine started, so hasn't really messed with plans in any way. It's definitely messed with some plans, like specific travel plans. You know, I still went to see my family in the summer, but I might not be going to see them for Christmas, which I've done every year since I can fucking remember. So that might suck. Might have to just fucking celebrate Christmas with my mom. I don't know, but you know, those aren't things that I necessarily stress about. So I would say no, the quarantine has not messed up my plans. Aiden, I got you in that 1v1, Chisbury. Yeah, those snares were fucking loud. Yeah, I did not know how to mix, bro. I don't know what to tell you. So, if you guys don't have any more questions, I'll wrap it up. It's been 51 minutes. Went longer than I expected. I thought this was going to be a shorter stream, honestly, because, you know, I don't feel great. But I fucking enjoy this, dude. I don't know if y'all fuck with this. I don't know if y'all are just here because, I mean, you wouldn't be here if you didn't enjoy this, I think. But, yeah, like, this shit is fucking fun, dude. I like hanging out with y'all. And I like sort of giving y'all the inside scoop on what I got going on and the music I'm making. And if y'all are interested in any of the shit I'm doing, I love to tell you guys about it because, you know, I can make all the music I make and work a 9 to 5 and just enjoy it myself. But I put it out because, you know, I want people to appreciate it and I want people to enjoy it. And it means the world to me that you guys tune into to anything I do. To be honest, like, I've been doing this shit forever. And I'm really appreciative of y'all. I can't speak. So yeah, if y'all don't have any more questions, I'm gonna wait about a minute. I don't want to sit here too awkward for too long. But yeah, I really appreciate y'all. And I'm gonna sip my tea while I wait for these questions, if there are any. That shit cold. I'm not seeing any questions. I'm not seeing any questions. So, I think that about wraps it up for this installment, the 4th installment of Revelations with me. I was gonna say the Messiah, but that's kind of weird. What I meant to say was the enlightened one, Kid Revel. Thank you guys for tuning in. This shit's been fun as fuck. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was gonna be really weird by myself, and it actually wasn't as bad as I thought. There were some technical difficulties that I couldn't check myself, so I started like tweaking. Like there'll be little parts if you watch it back where it's like I have legit panic in my eyes because I'm like I thought the stream stopped or some shit and I couldn't fix it, but it went better than I expected. Let me know if you guys want to do this more often, where I don't have any guests and it's just y'all. Yeah. So, thank you for coming. Don't forget to like, comment if you're watching this after the fact. Subscribe so you never miss an episode. Hit that notification bell icon. And yeah, fucking love you guys. Have a good night.